Blog Talk Radio.
Hey guys, this is Those Guys with your host, Matt Marrero, along with the other host,
Tristan Walter.
And my goodness, this episode, we actually have the audacity to put this out the night of New Year's Eve. It's coming out on Saturday. It's an AniSaturday episode. So here we are.
Eve.
One Punch Eve, yes. One Punch Eve, yes. That's what this is.
Oh, wait, so that's what we could do, oh, God, for, like, New Year's. Like, you know, the episode he punches the meteor, we could just do that. But instead of destroying, like, you know, half the world, it's just, like, fireworks and shit. I'm going to stop now because that's going to end horribly. Anyway.
You're saying that's the picture we should use? Is what you're telling me? For the release, we're just saying Happy New Year's with Saitama punching a meteor. What the fuck are you?
You know what? That would actually be great. You should do that.
Anyway, so today, as you can tell from the video title, we're doing the One Punch Man OVAs, something we didn't do last time because I felt like it would be a bit too much. And strangely, I don't think they're even dubbed. You and I watched them subbed, and I was like, wait, but wouldn't these be on the DVDs? But, I mean, I know OVAs sometimes cost a little bit extra, but Viz, like, to license, but Viz did this. Like, Viz,
right.
I don't know who they contracted for the dub, but Viz, you know, as the corporation that licensed it, licensed One Punch Man.
Yeah.
So, I'm a little confused, but whatever.
I mean, yeah.
No, like they weren't dubbed, and so we watched them sub. By the way, would like to say anyone who, you know, there's always like discussion of like dub versus sub, right? And everyone always, you know, gets into huge arguments about that. One Punch Man is a show that's just as funny in Japanese. Like I literally felt like there was no difference whether or not I was watching it subbed or dubbed.
Yeah, I thought. Yeah, either way.
Yeah. But, no, I just love that, like, I don't know, like, I love that it's just funny in both languages, and it didn't feel like the American version, you know, the English dub, tried to, and again, there was no dub for the OVAs, so, yeah, well, no, not even take away, like, sometimes, you know, you have certain companies that try to play up the humor.
Right, yeah.
And again, there's no dub for these OVAs, so I wouldn't know. You know, if it happens in, like, a dub, then that'll be a different story. But as of right now, looking at the main series versus these, it feels like the same kind of humor. Like, there's no, like, okay, so we're going to sneak this in here. Right? Like, it just felt like, I mean, I know I mentioned, like, one line where, like, he said crappy modern art or something like that in the dub, where in the original, like, manga, it was more like just modern art, right? But nothing crazy, where, like, I'm watching these OVAs, and I'm like, this is literally One Punch Man. Like, the dub was extremely accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I didn't hear characters and be like, Saitama wouldn't say that in the version I watched. It was like, no, yeah, everyone was themselves. And so that was a lot of fun. And one thing I liked about this, and I used the wrong word pre-show, but I still want to use it, and I'll explain what I mean by it, because I know it's technically not the exact right way to use it. But I like how these OVAs did some world building. Some. Now, I know, you know, Tristan and I were talking about the idea of world building is more like, oh, you know, like the backstory on, like, the, you know, like the names of the towns or about the Hero Association. And I know they didn't really go into that, but when I say world building, like, it could even be something as small as, like, you know, giving a character a sister that I assume, you know, is not filler, right? Like, I assume, you know, the Esper, the Green Esper, I'm assuming her sister will appear in Season 2. Or at least in Season 2's OVAs, I'm assuming they didn't just make a random new character and an entire group and just be like, yeah, whatever, filler. Like, there are some manga chapters. What?
Yeah. Well, even in the anime, too, you did see her. Granted, it was very brief, but you did actually see her. I think it was either during the Sea King or the Meteor. I can't remember exactly which, but there is a screenshot where they go in and say, can you help us? And she's like, I'm not interested. And then they pan, you know, they go to the next scene.
Oh, I forgot about that. It probably would have been the Blizzard King. I don't think I'm Blizzard King. It probably was the Meteor. I don't think we would have seen her during the Sea King because during the Sea King, all I remember just like intense, you know, like the whole town being, you know, nearly flooded, and then all the, like, I don't think there was any time to show her. But I'm pretty sure during the meteor there was some time for them to just be like, we need you, and she was like, nah.
Right.
But anyway, so thank you, because I didn't notice that. And it's funny because I also think that, like, these OVAs, they didn't feel like silly filler to me. They actually felt like they connected some things that's why I say world building, where, like, you know, it kind of feels like Geno sees Saitama, and then, like, episode later, he's just like, I'm here. And you're like,
right.
Okay. But
well,
with
yeah,
the OVA
it's basically,
in the middle.
Yeah, the OVAs kind of feel like the in-between the episodes kind of thing.
Yeah.
Or even the
Now,
last
to be
one
fair,
is a little bit of an epilogue.
Yes. Now, to be fair, I don't know if some of these were in the manga, so technically they can be considered filler, because where I got up to in the manga,
yeah.
I did not see Genos stalking Saitama like this. But for all I know,
Right.
you know, eventually he goes, you know, Master, I did actually watch you, and then we'll get like a little side chapter on it or something. Because I know that some portions of the manga, not like in a large way, but some portions of the manga haven't been adapted or weren't adapted, were slightly glossed over. Not really, though, because what I read was mostly a one-to-one translation from manga to film, which was crazy to think about. But there was some stuff that was like, you know, I think like one chapter was skipped over, and I was like, oh, that stinks. But, you know, but then what we get, when we see the first OVA, right, the one that was titled 00, I was so interested because it was Saitama before he was, you know, quote-unquote One Punch Man, even though he was still beating people with one punch. But it was before he had the suit and everything. And I think that was a really cool thing to see because I was like, wow, you know, like you can see him do this. And also him being a hero, just like in the, you know, in the actual show, doesn't come with any benefits whatsoever, in a sense.
Yeah.
Because technically, by the end of the episode, he's still technically homeless. They never addressed how he found the new place or whatever. Just like, hey, you did this for me. You gave up your money to this woman who technically kicked you out anyway, so you didn't get that money. And now you're back here, and I'm like, by the way, I'm giving up my store anyway. But here's your costume. The entire fucking OVA. Like, that's the takeaway. Hey, Saitama. Yeah, this is what being a hero gets you. Okay. It was terrible.
Yeah,
also,
pretty much.
Also,
I mean,
also I what?
No, like it feels like a whole. It's a theme of the show, basically.
Yes, but I like how it was able to be carried over. Is the point? So how did you feel about his theory of evolution? The theory of evolution by Saitama. How did you feel about? You were a small pervert, but then you became a larger pervert, and then you became a total pervert. The theory of evolution by Saitama.
Right.
Yeah, remember the first OVA? The first OVA, the dude who ran that whole gang, right? The one that lived in the apartment complex that his landlord lived in, that he technically lived in too. That the guy, when he was just like he was a crab or whatever, he was saying like, oh, I am, you know, something, the fish of darkness or whatever. He was like, oh, I saw something about this earlier, and he was talking about how he saw the theory of evolution, like, oh, they start off as this and then they evolve into this. So he was saying how he was evolving from a normal pervert into a total pervert.
Oh God!
Because of the outfit he wore. I was like, okay. I was like, thank you, Saitama, for teaching me about evolution.
Yeah, because that's honestly, you know what? That's probably a better explanation than I've heard. Not an official one, not an actual one that I've learned about through my education. No, but other people trying to explain it that have
really.
Not.
You sure Charles Darwin never mentioned that?
I will murder you in your sleep.
All right. So that means
and that's going to be the evolution of Matt Marrero, ladies and gentlemen. He's living right now, but he's going to turn into Zombie Man because I'm going to kill him. But then he'll realize he has regenerative powers, and he'll just wake up and sleep it off like a bad hangover.
I'm going to be immortal. My God. I still can't believe Zombie Man's fucking immortal. Because literally everyone was like, oh, no, he's dead. He's just like, whoa, sorry, guys, what's going on? I was like, God damn.
Well, I mean, as soon as I saw him when they're like talking to him, I'm like, yeah, he's a zombie. He's undead. And then you know, on the floor, the sword in his back. He's not dead, guys. Like, he's going to wake up. I know he's going to wake up.
No, but the thing is, I thought it was the joke. Like, oh no, what happened to the immortal phoenix? It died.
Right, fair enough.
I thought that was the joke. Like, oh no, Zombie Man is dead. And I was like, these fuckers. Which was in the 6th OVA. I was like, you terrible. Because there was 2 sets of OVAs. There was one that was labeled 00, and then there were the other 6 that we saw. 00 aired first, but not obviously before One Punch Man itself aired, right, in Japan. But then the other ones, I mean, they aired at later dates, and obviously, as you can tell, they're meant to be in between certain episodes.
Right.
Yeah, so you can see some of them obviously being in between or right after, you know, like the meteor coming down, the end of the series. You can see that one was right before Genos walked in to be like, Master Saitama, I know of you, right? So a lot of interesting. Yeah. I think one of the funniest to me was the one with, you know, the ninja. And him trying to train and fight against, because I feel like that's why I mentioned world building though, because he completely disappeared, and you never saw him again till. I mean, I know technically you saw him 3 times, but like to me, it felt like because he never really went up against Saitama again, it felt like it was just like, okay, we show him once, then he's sort of up against the Deep Sea King, then we don't see him till like the end, and then that's it. So to me, it felt like out of every character, he really wasn't shown. Like, out of someone who I thought would be more of a main player, he, to me, was barely shown, right? At least against Saitama. And also, he even mentions during the Sea King episode, hey, so I've been training. So, actually seeing his training, I was like, wow, this is really fun. Especially with the boar, I thought he was going to eat it. And when he befriended it, I was
funny.
like, this is adorable.
I mean, he's, I guess he's more of an anti-hero than anything else.
At this point, yeah. But also, just the sheer absurdity of all of his flashbacks and his fears relating to him getting lightly tapped in the balls.
Yeah.
I think to me...
that has affected him.
Lightly,
like, that affected him that much. I mean, him being an assassin and all, you know?
Well, because I think what it is he's never, like, even been touched, probably.
True.
Like, at all.
Yeah, that's what it stems from.
Yeah. So the fact that he was such an anyway, particularly in that way, I think he's just like, oh no. And then, of course, the little boar, not understanding that Saitama wants to eat him, but understanding that that's the face that the guy that I'm, like, that's my master, you know, he was trying to fight that face. So the boar is just like, oh no. And I'm like, God damn it, he's scared of Saitama. This little boar is scared of Saitama.
I mean, granted, Saitama was going to eat him too, along with the bear.
No, but he doesn't. I know, but he doesn't know that. He's just like, that's the face I saw in the tree, perfectly carved.
Right. Yeah.
Think about it. He fucking perfectly carved that face, and it was a face that I don't believe Saitama actually made at him during the episode.
Yeah, no, I don't think it was.
Because, like, Saitama's made some creepy faces, but I don't think he made a creepy one towards the ninja dude. Yeah. Because he wasn't trying to be creepy. He was like, hey, man, like, I'm not actually with those guys. And it was like, oh, no, but you have a shaved head, and either way you've seen me, so I have to kill you. And it was like, no. And then he accidentally punched him. But then when he did, he was like, I'm so sorry. He never was that creepy towards the ninja guy. The only creepy face that I remember was during the mole dude. It's like, found you.
Right. Yeah, well, he did make a creepy face to him when he caught up with, like, when they were running, and he's, like, looking at Sonic like, yeah, I can go just as fast as you. And he's like, impossible! And he, breaks off.
But I don't think was it that face? I'm sorry, if it was,
it wasn't
I'm sorry.
The same exact face. It wasn't.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't the same face that he made with the mole people, but it was a kind of like, like. No.
Hey, I meant like the one that he carved.
No. It wasn't that either.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
He did make a creepy face during the fight, though. But not that one that's carved into the tree.
Because he just took it so hard that he's just carving the creepiest Saitama face into a fucking tree that the boar can identify him via the face. I'm like, Jesus
I actually
Christ.
wonder if he carved it into the tree or he punched it and his
Right,
fist
that's what I
made
meant.
the face appear.
Yes, that's kind of what happened. No, that's basically what happened. I mean, no, it is. He punched it hard, and then it kind of like just like the I don't know. I guess chakra. He's a ninja. Went all around it and carved the thing out of chakra. I just say carved because how perfectly, it was just there. It was so perfect. But yeah, I don't know. Like I think the one. Okay, so which OVA did you enjoy the most? Including, you can include 002 if you want. Which OVA did you enjoy the most?
I think, well, it's probably a tie between the one with the S-Class hero Fang and the one where Genos is out on errands and he gets held up with like this mafia type crowd and he's explaining to them like what the mafia guy is asking for, like, the
what I love the
about
most,
this one guy.
What I love the most is that he, in that one, I forgot the guy's first. I think it was Don Pacino, and I was like, Pacino, really? I was like, fucking, I was like, Pacino. Oh my God. Anyway, I have to say that Fang might be my least favorite, only because I love the message behind like Fang wanting to bring people back to the dojo. It's just that I think because I knew what was going to happen and that it didn't work at all and that it was just a long distraction, that I knew what was going to happen with Saitama. To me, it didn't build much of a relationship between them because really, even throughout the series, even later, like if later on during the series, Fang had shown more of like, oh no, I know those guys, like I know them very well, then I'd be like, where did this come from? But it still felt like he was always somewhat distant between the three of them.
Yeah, I mean there is a few spots of dialogue that I noticed that Fang is basically talking about Saitama and Genos, like either in a monologue or to one of the other S-Class heroes, that he knows them a little bit better than anyone else because he's actually talked with them. And this episode kind of made that clear to me, like when he did that.
Okay, because to me, I didn't look at it that way because he saw the meteor. He saw Saitama taking, the abuse afterwards. So to me, he just saw things like that, and he made up his mind.
No, it was right. Well, maybe, I guess it was definitely.
No, that's just my take on it.
Yeah.
No. That's what I'm saying though. Like he saw the meteor, and then when he made that comment that you're saying, he had seen the meteor stuff. So he's like, "See, I know these two. They're not bad people, right? They're not frauds or whatever he had mentioned in the monologue." So that's my take on it. Like I didn't really think of him like actually trying to take him to his, even though it makes sense that he would want them in his dojo, frankly. So it does make sense. It's not like I'm saying it's nonsensical. It's just my least favorite because I knew, like every other one, obviously you're not sitting there going, is Saitama gonna die? Is the ninja gonna, like, no. Like I never, who would have killed the ninja? It was the boar. Like who would have killed the ninja? Like no one was gonna die in any of these. There was no like, grave danger, of course. But at the same, they were all just like really fun OVAs. But at the same time, that one, I don't know, maybe it's just like the games they were playing and everything. Yes, it was all funny, how like they're all skirting the rules and how, even though Saitama is great, Silver Fang is still like he's trained. Yeah. So he's still going to kick his butt in certain things. So I don't know, but it just didn't feel I mean, I loved it the most about it is when like how he convinced them to go to the dojo. Yeah.
And the games that they played within the dojo, like him watching, tailing them all day, and then the truck coming out of nowhere swerving, and he's like, I jumped into the road to save the cat. I realize now it's a paper bag, and now all my meat has been run over.
Oh yeah, no, it must. Yeah, it
I'll give
you
meat
one.
if you come to the dojo. No, like stuff that I really liked about it, and then how he hooks him. It's like, I'll give you food. Done. when he was so adamantly against it, like, no, I have no interest in this whatsoever. Of course I'm not. You have food, I'm coming. All right.
Basically. So I'm thinking, I don't know what my favorite one is. My favorite one may be the one with the sister, just because it never really occurred to me that, you know, she could have a sister and all that stuff. So that one might be.
Yeah.
Also the fact that she is really nice when Genos was like, oh, we hear that she actually does like what the Tiger Brothers did, which is when they find a rookie, they just beat the living hell out of them. Or they try to anyway, to discredit them. And so you thought like, oh, she's going to do the same thing. And then it's just like, oh, no, you know, I want to try too. And then she realizes just like me. And then, you know, in her own little way, it's just like, yeah, you know, you're going to have to start calling me Sama, you know, or like basically Miss or Lord or whatever you want to look at it.
Right.
So
well,
that
she's
one
also
was really
the sister of the biggest tsundere in the series, so she has to, at some point, be Sunda herself.
Correct. Oh, I have a question for you. So when Genos was stalking Saitama in the OVA 1, right? Not the first OVA, because that's OVA 00, but OVA 1, when he was stalking him. Did you think it was the ninja guy? I know that it technically wouldn't have fit in the canon when I realized what order they were going in, but when it's just like, I have a stalker, and the name of the episode is The Shadow That, you know, what was it? The Shadow That Snuck Up Too Close, or A Shadow That Snuck Up Too Close, different translations of different episode titles, right? But when you hear Shadow, I was like, ninja. That's just my take. I was like, ninja.
Surprisingly enough, no, I didn't think of the ninja. I guess because I thought of it, the canon didn't make sense, but it didn't it didn't even occur to me as like, oh, maybe it is him, because it's funny. I guess it's how the way the episode started out. It made it seem like I thought he was gonna have like it was gonna be that episode of, oh crap, the really, you know, powerful guy is gonna have a paranoia streak and he's gonna, you know, pull some shit accidentally and things are going to go wrong, and Genos is going to have to, like, pull him back out of it or some shit. Because, you know, all I can think of, like, when he was like, it's someone there, I'm like, oh, great, he's gonna throw a punch, and he's going to obliterate, you know, the entire building behind him. It's like, let's give paranoia to a guy with the ultimate strength ever.
Yeah, and then you realize, you're like, wait, Genos isn't there yet, therefore.
Yeah, that too.
I have to say, I love the movie. That's another reason why I mentioned the comedy is still on point, because, like, the movie that he was watching was so fucking random and weird. Like, oh no, that crazy stalker woman, and there's aliens. I was like, this is not something the dub just added. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it seems like a very, I don't know, American joke, I guess. Like, not that Japanese can't make, like, jokes like this, but, like, when I think of Japanese jokes, I think of a lot of, like, puns and stuff like that, right? And, like, funny wordplay and things like that, you know. And so when I see a situation like this where it's just like, oh, no, the aliens have landed, I'll take them out. And she's stalking you. She actually called your mom and said that she was your fiance. What? Oh, no, she's really worse than those aliens. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I don't know why it felt like something that I would see on American television, like, in terms of sheer what the fuckery. So, not that I'm saying, oh, it's American, is why it's so great. It didn't seem like something, like, if you told me, like, if you showed me the dub of, like, that scene and it had it in there, I'd be like, what was the original Japanese joke?
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry to say it, like, that's what I would ask you. Like, what's the, but it is.
What was the original joke?
This show is very interesting in how, like, in some ways I feel like it tries to be, I guess, American, because, like, with all this, like, the amount of, even though it's funny because, like, I say this as I know it's a parody of One Punch Man, which is, like, a Japanese superhero from the 70s, anime show from the 70s. But I don't know, there's something about, like, certain aspects about it that, to me, I can see, again, we said this last time when we did One Punch Man, we can see why it resonated with people in America.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, there's something about it that's just very much, like, I think the only time I saw something in the series that I was like, you're overly Japanese, was when the guy that was making Saitama's, he was fixing his tracksuit, was like, you should dress up like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you could argue the food that they make, of course, is Japanese food, but the way, we live in New York, so for us, we can literally just, you know,
go, half of the dishes that he makes, it's like, probably had some rendition or at least heard of that.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's great. I literally, like, he starts mentioning, like, oh, yeah, this sauce and then this food. And I'm like, yeah, been there, done that. Good food.
Right.
It's getting me in the mood for it, too. I'm pissed. I'm like, it's 1 a.m. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
We're all good here. Like,
well, I know
live in
what
New
we're
York,
doing
but not
after this.
Well, no, because, like, I live in New York, but, like, not in New York City.
Right.
So I can't just be like, oh, yeah, it's 1 a.m. Let me get some Japanese food. No,
There's
sorry.
a train.
Not at 1 a.m. It'll be closed by 2.
Yeah.
If it was 10, I'd be like, maybe. I'll be there in an hour.
Maybe.
Right. But, anyway. So, yeah, no, yeah, my favorite might be the one with the Blizzard gang, although it sucks too because I really like Genos' story one. But again, it's kind of like, even though I think of it, it's better than the Silverfang one, to me, I still knew where it was going by the end, where it was kind of be like, they're just going to get either really, really upset at Genos, or he's going to be like, there, I'm done, so can I go now? Now, I never, what I don't really think about a lot, because this didn't really happen in the show as much. I never think of them having bounties. Now,
Yeah.
I know they technically, it's not like they don't in the show, but they fight such large monsters on the show that, like, no one is sitting there with the Deep Sea King like, oh, boy, we're going to get so much money for this.
Right.
It's like, no, guys.
It's like, this is a
they're all
threat to
gonna
humanity. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, usually in the show, at least by, like, by the last, like, well, not the last, but by, even with the Hammerhead brothers.
Funny. Yeah.
Or with the Hammerhead, not the Hammerhead, I'm sorry, with the Hammerhead, although they did have Hammerheads. No, with the No Work Party, the No Labor Party, or whatever it was.
Well, the guy who was
them,
leading them was Hammerhead, yeah.
Oh, thank you. Okay, good. So with the No Labor Party, I'm still thinking of the Hammerhead brothers. No Labor Party, you still, even though there was a bounty on them technically, Saitama was going out there because he was giving them a bad name.
Right.
Also, it was hard for him, I think, to really claim bounties as much. Because, like, and this is my take on it, right? Episode 00, there was no hero association yet.
Yeah.
Crime was on the rise. No one talked about a hero association ever. It was like, hey, we know you do this as a hobby, but it still didn't seem like there was like.
Oh, right.
I guess you can't.
Shit, you're right. Yeah.
What?
It doesn't seem like there is an association.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong because they did say that he was doing it as a hobby, and he didn't really catch on. Like, oh, I can. So maybe there was a hero association. But my point is.
Oh,
my point is
right.
That,
because when Genos tells him about it in the actual series, Saitama's like, "What the fuck? I've never heard of this." But there is no mention of it in this episode, though, because I guess it's just from Saitama's point of view, so they're not introducing it, kind of.
Oh, maybe that's why. No, because my point is that once the Hero Association was mentioned, that's when it felt like the idea of bounties kind of stopped because the villains got bigger.
Yeah. Well, because it's funny, I would say that Class C heroes are probably what you would consider, like, loosely, what you would consider an actual police force.
Mm-hmm. And you want to know what's something interesting? Yes, you want something really interesting?
World. Yeah.
I would argue. Class D and C, they need the money from bounties because they're low level.
Yeah.
But once you're at, like, A or S, you don't need the bounties. Why? Because you can be an idol.
True.
Like Amai Mask, which I think Amai, if I remember correctly, beautiful mask. So with Amai Mask, he can go out, destroy S-class villains, annihilate them, and then go for a movie shoot later on that day.
Yeah.
And be paid thousands, if not hundreds, millions of dollars for that alone. So someone like him, you don't have to sit there and be like, oh, no, this mafia organization. It's like, nah. Let a C-class take care of that. And then they do, and then they get the bounty from it. Like Saitama could have, if he didn't give the bounty. What I love, by the way, just bringing it back there, he is like, oh, man, that random dude who was in that pink outfit was just like, not everyone is as nice here as me. Some of them are really, terrible people. And Saitama's like,
oh,
cool.
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God,
Saitama,
the camera frame is fucking horrifying, too.
Because here's my thing. It's, because, like, there's nothing wrong with him wearing an outfit like that, but the show was trying to portray,
his or her own, but, God.
Yeah, but the show was, you know what it was? You know, I gotta be real with you. The outfit wasn't the problem. I think it was the teddy bear.
I think the problem for me is that the outfit was giving him a fucking wedgie, and I was like,
That's what you mean by the camera angle. Thank you, because I was confused what you meant by that. Right? Yes, they showed his butt, which I mean, any kind of butt. Because it's funny. Because some people might be like, well, you were okay seeing woman butt in class S in episode in the 6th OVA, and I gotta be real with you, I wasn't. I was like, what are you doing, One Punch Man?
Oh,
don't show me any butt.
Yeah, I thought that was. Yeah, a little weird. Like, even it was a little more risque than I thought would actually be presented. I'm like, oh, they're all going to be in the okay then. You're not in the water.
Yeah, no, even...
it is very apparent that you're not in the water.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and you and I, we like female butt, but still, but still, we're like, nah, it doesn't need to be here. We're not, there's certain OVAs that will be like, cool, yes, like that is butt.
Although, I mean, to be fair, the S-Class male heroes, like you see Angel Dude naked almost half the time, so.
For me,
that
it's just
count?
Like, you mean Putty or?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
right. Yeah. Oh, my God. I don't know if that counts. But, I just felt weird about the way they presented the guy.
Does that count enough to make it, fair and square on both sides? We're showing, enough for either side? I guess.
You know what it is?
Maybe?
You know what it is?
I don't know.
It's a weird situation because, I'm being very real with you here, right? It's hard because, he is that's where he gets his power from. So, where with her, it was just I'm just fan service right now.
Right. I see.
So it's strange for me. Yes. It's a bit like, what's her name, from the newer Metal Gear Solid game, the one that, has to breathe through her skin so she doesn't have, a lot of clothes on, which to everyone, including me, were like, really? Are you serious? But at least that's a power, and that's not just there was a character that she barely had any clothes on, and the reasoning was she breathes through her skin or something because Metal Gear Solid.
Shit.
So she has to wear less revealing clothing. And that was Kojima's way of being see, not fan service. Now it is, but at least it's a better tie-in than just seeing the butt during the hot spring.
Right, yeah.
No, that's what I'm saying. So, with what?
I did love the fact that, I forget what was said, but, because one of them was talking about, how all the people here don't deserve to be here. They didn't actually fight. It's I was off doing something more important, and Metal Bat gets up, and Saitama's head is just completely covering his crotch. I thought for sure that it was a censor bar at first. It was just they used Saitama's head to censor it, and then I realized no, the rest of him is there. He's just in the perfect position.
Yeah, no, gags like that will always make me laugh.
God.
But yeah, so what I was going to say was that it's just I don't like the way they showed that dude in the in the outfit because I can understand how some people be like, oh, that's against cross dressing or that's transphobic, but I think that it was trying to evoke little girl more so than just being a woman, which is scary. A man dressed like a woman, isn't that scary? No, I think it was more man dressed like little girl. If he was dressed like a little boy with the shorts and the hat, right? Or if he was a baby with a diaper and a binky, I understand that for some people they have certain kinks, but it can look a little awkward sometimes. Just walking out your house like that with the teddy bear in hand, right?
Yeah.
So for me, it's just so if they were trying to evoke little girl, then I'm sorry, everyone. I know you got your own stuff going on, but that creeped me out, right?
Mm.
But if they were trying to evoke, oh no, woman, that's just lingerie that any woman would wear. I'm I don't think that's scary. The teddy bear was, but not. No, because the teddy bear is, but not dude wearing lingerie. It's not terrifying. You know what I'm saying? Oh no,
no.
Bum. No. What was funny, I think, about it the most is just Saitama's reaction of just play it cool. We're all good here. going to the other side. But I think what's crazy about it overall, right, is that Saitama lives there because it's cheap. Probably because it's a fucking mob-owned. Like, who the fuck wants to live there? They brought the rent that down.
Well, he lives in city. Oh, you mean from 00? Or you mean in
Yes, 00.
In the
series
apartment,
itself.
Yeah.
No, 00.
Okay.
The apartment. That's what I'm trying to get. Because again, we're still on 00 in this case with the guy in the lingerie. So it's just funny because guy in lingerie, nicest person there, minus Saitama. Saitama's there because the rent is so cheap because it's mob owned, so no one wants to live there. And I love it because you're thinking like, well, if everyone else is terrible there, minus that one dude, why would she not be? She being his landlady. Like, why would she not be terrible?
Right.
And I love it. Just, I'm giving you all of them because I'm sure their bounty is so huge that you'll be able to get my rent. And it was probably like a Goku situation where it was like, dude, this could pay off your rent for a while.
Right.
And I thought that's what they were sort of going with it. And she was just like, because I wonder how he pays his rent from month to month. So I thought it was something like that. And all of a sudden she's like, that's that's actually how I get my money. And I'm like,
my income.
Oh my God.
Kicked out.
My income. And I'm like,
I should have figured as much. Like, you'd
yeah,
think,
no.
It's like, she's hard on the outside, but maybe she's got it rough, she's an old lady, like something like that. It's like, no, she's just a bitch. She's just terrible.
And
she's a terrible person.
Yeah, I mean, like just terrible person. Like just, yeah.
Like, yeah,
no,
I'm going to accept this dirty laundered money and have a crime ring running in, my apartment complex because you know what? I'm getting a cut of that shit. Oh, so I'll be back. Like, that's funny. Like, anybody else would have, called the cops. Oh, well, I guess called the Hero Association. Oh, crap, what if they're not? Oh, crap, nobody did anything because they don't know who to call.
No, I'm sure cops exist. Because cops have been known to exist.
Shit.
It's just like they don't really do much.
Right. I think with Hammerhead, they actually did have either a police force or a firefighting force, there on the scene trying to do something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just really
weird
funny
because you never see any of that though. Always the Hero Association. Like, I get it. Like, the police are not going to go after a fucking giant monster. But well,
I was going to say what's cooler.
True.
Let's have the police investigate the crime.
I guess you'd think with at least some of the C-class stuff, you'd see the police there, maybe trying to help, and they work together, kind of thing. But then it kind of makes it the C-class and the police force. It's who's got the jurisdiction and who's basically trying to earn their keep. They're in competition with each other. Sort of. And I
would still argue that here's the thing too. Before I even make a really good argument, I still put up the idea that OVA 00. What's more cool, Saitama going around punching people by accident or having a sting operation?
Yeah.
Don't worry.
True.
Those police are staking out the area. Maybe that would have made it funnier with Saitama just coming in, bursting through the walls and everything.
That would be
But
hysterical.
It wouldn't have been.
Yeah, it's aboard the mission, God damn it, who is that guy?
Basically. But it wouldn't be cool. It wouldn't be yes, this is the show I signed up for.
Right.
Police stakeouts.
Okay. Yeah,
so that's the way I look at it.
I mean, that could be cool in a different series, but yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah, very much so. Oh, no. Yes, it would be, just not here.
Although,
it's
I have to admit,
you know what it is? I'm sorry, dude. I have to interrupt you. I'm so sorry. It's
Go ahead.
basically saying, Nappa and Vegeta appeared. Why the fuck do we not have police on the scene?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Goku. Yeah.
Not for the obvious stuff. It's let the heroes take care of that one.
What about Emperor Pilaf?
I mean, to be completely
Goku.
honest, I feel like a police force could handle Emperor Pilaf as long as he didn't break out a mecha or some shit.
Basically. what I would love the most is like if the police force is under budget and so is he, so they're the smallest mecha battle.
Oh my God, yeah, it's like Pilaf's like tiny one until they fused into the tall one with 3 robots was pretty.
That's what I'm saying.
Minuscule.
That tiny one versus like a tiny police one, and Goku is around as tall as the mecha. Like little Goku, child Goku is nearly as tall as the mecha.
I almost do that.
I feel like give it some time. They'll have a mecha battle like that. Give it some time.
Yeah.
But anyway, go back to One Punch. Yeah, but you were saying something, so please.
Yeah, the very end of 0-0, like nagging at me almost more than that wedgie. When he's recounting the tale to Genos on the roof, and he has the chopsticks. Did you realize that
he broke them the same way everyone else does?
No,
he broke them the way everyone else. Like a lot of, a lot of people end up breaking them that way, and I laughed really hard because I was like, wait, are they saying that chopsticks are stronger than Saitama?
God fucking damn it.
You see what I mean, right? He's the one who could potentially rip them in half perfectly, and yet he still breaks it off earlier. And I'm like, God damn it.
Well, see, I mean, I don't know how you could do that unless you, like, did it on purpose. Because whenever I've had chopsticks, I have never broken them like that. They're not exactly even sometimes, but I've never gotten it to where the end breaks off and stays attached to the other chopstick. That bothered me so much.
Oh, I've seen that happen a lot.
Oh my God. Has that ever happened to you? Because if so, I don't think we should do the Japanese food afterwards, because I might one punch you.
I'm going to be honest with you. I've eaten more Japanese food than you. Hear me out. At different places, as in varying, but here, what I'm trying to say is varying quality on
degrees.
Chopsticks.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. True.
Yeah. Because I'm sure you've probably eaten more Japanese food than I have, but probably from your local place.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I see what you mean.
Exactly. So varying degrees of quality on the chopsticks, but I still think it's hilarious how Saitama didn't break it evenly in half. Maybe he does need to go to Silver Fang's dojo.
No, but you're right. Like, you saying it that way, that was definitely the joke they were going for. It has to be.
It has to, yeah. So I have to say about 01, I think my favorite joke out of every... Although, it might be my favorite joke. I'm really not sure. It's just the way it happened was, two things that I loved. Because I was going to say my favorite joke was the fact that he was missing the big fry. Or the fact that he mentioned, there's only one long fry, and it's kind of... Right. And I sat there and I'm like, that's like everyone with fries. That's why I think it was so relatable. And I really enjoyed it. But I think what was even funnier than that, really, was the look on the server's face when he was just like, I want this, and she's like, okay, a side order of fries, and that's it. And her face, she was like, It's
like you're one of those fucking people.
Yeah, I know. Like I'm sure he tipped as well as he could, but still having I'm not gonna say it's wasting her time, because it's her job.
Right. It's still she's still getting paid. It's like people order what they order.
It is kind of a waste. Let's be real.
In a way,
again, not
so. Well, even Genos says it too. Yeah. Like, no ordinary person goes out to a restaurant and just orders a side.
Mm-hmm.
There must be some secret to this. He even fucking runs a fry through an analyzer. Oh my God! And just the end of it. There's nothing special about it. It's an ordinary French fry. Oh my god.
Oh,
That's why
man.
I think Genos is my favorite because he's that stereotypical dark backstory and always serious dude. And he's so intelligent, but he's also a fucking moron at the same. He's just as stupid as Saitama is half the time.
Yeah.
It's like there must be some secret to this. It's like you can't honestly believe that, can you? It's like, no, but if you've, it's like the Sherlock logic. If you've eliminated everything that makes sense, then the only, then the only answer must be the unthinkable. It's like, but this is Saitama we're talking about.
But he doesn't know yet. That's the funny thing.
No. I mean, I feel like he still doesn't know. I feel like he's gotten more used to it, but at the same time, he'll still have those moments where you're going to do this, right? No. What?
I'll give you that. I'll definitely give you that.
What do you mean, no? You can't honestly expect me to believe that you're... Oh, God, you are.
Yeah. What I think I just find it funny that he still, what's it called? By the way, the he I'm referring to is Supersonic. That he is friends with this wild boar, and I really hope that in season 2 the wild boar appears. Every character that we got in the OVAs, I would love for them to reappear because I hope that they're not just random filler because that would be kind of sad to me anyway. But my God, they were just hilarious.
I find it funny that they actually, I guess I don't know, it makes him a more interesting character and it makes him a little more in-depth that he's not just this, assassin. But, I really didn't think they would, I figured they would just work more, I guess it still was working on the whole, I'm going to have my revenge on you plot with him, with his character. But at the same time, actually him showing compassion or actually talking normally to a complete stranger. Like the dude, Frank, when he talks to Frank, I'm like, you're a psychopath, an assassin. You don't talk to normal people. How do you do that? It's like, I'm hired to kill people. I guess it feels like he does enjoy murdering people, but at the same time, it is it's not that. It's just the job, and I like being a show-off, I guess.
Yeah, no, I'll be very real with you, very real. I thought that they were in his ninja village, which might sound silly, but the way it started off, he's just sleeping in a tree.
Sleeping in the tree.
Good.
Yeah, no, I felt the same way, and then I realized, no, he's just out in the fucking woods. Oh, okay, all right then.
Yeah,
that's how this is.
I was like, all right, whatever. That's
it's
your
weird
thing.
Because
whatever.
I guess it's just because it was his training spot for that day or something, but you'd think with him being an assassin, and you even see in the series, he's obviously getting paid for his work. You think he'd, fucking be staying in a hotel or some shit.
Nah, he's a ninja.
It's more of,
he doesn't need that
right,
shit.
It's more of that I'm constantly training. I'm never not training. So I sleep in the wilderness.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I'm cool with that. I expected that, really. I was just confused that the fact that he wasn't in his ninja village, and once I get to know, once he's just like, oh, yeah, so your name's Hunter Frank or Frank Hunter? I was like, wait, what, he doesn't know? What does he not know? I thought they were, really good friends. I was so thrown off.
Nah, he's
I was just really confused.
Random stranger.
Yeah, no, which I'm not saying that's a bad thing. In fact, again, it makes his character nicer in a way. It's just not something I expected from him. Which, again, it's funny. I expected the boar in some way or another because, even some terrible people can be, can like animals and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But,
everyone has
to
have that one, that one little something in their life where it's you're... Yeah. Yeah. You do have a heart.
It just really... Yeah. So, it's funny. It's not that he can be friends with normal people and not just murderize them. To me, I'm like, no, that makes sense. But, I guess just, the fact that I thought, oh, Ninja Village, guy that he knows, and it turns out, nah. I'm like, oh.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah, because I was going to be like, oh, that's his master or something, right?
Not his master, but I imagined him being someone that he knew, though, obviously. It was just interesting. Just be like, nah, we just met. Don't even know your real name. I'm like, okay. like, be wary, traveler. And I'm like, oh, I didn't realize that was what was going on here. Cool.
I love how he even says, it's like, you keep calling me Hunter. It's like, that's not actually my name. My name is Frank. Oh, Frank Hunter. No, it's not my part of my name at all. It's just Frank. Think of it more of like my profession. So I'm Hunter Frank. It's like, oh, so Hunter is more of like supersonic, like in my title. And it's like, what the fuck?
By the way, I love how the bear was just like so like large.
Yeah,
like
Jesus.
literally, I'm watching this and I'm like, this is the Revenant, right?
I didn't know he crossed over into Brave.
It was intense, man. That bear was huge.
No, it was.
But anyway,
I love the fact that Genos is like, you can eat bear. He's like, it's a little gamey, but if you cook it right, I don't think that's the problem here. I think it's more of, are you like legally allowed to hunt and eat this here?
No, I didn't know. That's not what Genos was saying. It when Genos wrote down everything, he actually was really saying like, oh, you could eat bear, and that's why you had Saitama like, oh no, you can eat anything. But no, you can eat most animals. And he's like, oh, interesting.
I learned so much
to write
from
it down. Yes. Oh man. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed this set of OVAs, and I can't wait not only for season 2, but now I can't even wait for their OVAs, which sounds crazy to think about, right? But all of these were just really. I think what it is. I think it works really well when you have an anime like this, where it is action packed, but it's also meant to be very, very funny. So something like an OVA, I think, will really work well. Where you and I will watch like Dragon Ball Z, and we love Dragon Ball Z and everything surrounding it, really. But even you and I can look at some of the OVAs and be like, yeah, these are nice little specials. Right?
Yeah.
Like usually for me, OVAs aren't like a necessary part of the story. They're just kind of like little one-offs, That's the whole point of an OVA. But like the only thing that made some of the Dragon Ball Z OVAs really special were that, Dragon Ball Z hadn't anything new on TV for years. At the point that some of these OVAs came out. And, I mean, one of the OVAs, right, Plan to Eradicate the Super Saiyans was a remake of another OVA called Plan to Eradicate the Saiyans, which we've actually done both podcasts as one, both OVAs as one episode on our podcast. I don't think it was an AniSaturday one at the time, but it was just, we did everything from Dragon Ball Z, goddamn. Like, we did everything.
Pretty much.
But anywho.
Aside from the actual series and seasons.
Yes, because that would take a very long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, very long time. But anyway, so when I look at, this show, the OVAs, I think, fit very well into the series. Like, they just fit, not only just the writing, not only the comedy, but just the, the stories, right? I think they really fit in well, and I can't wait for season 2. Right, because it's the last One Punch Man, podcast. Like some people might be like, the last one you're doing this year? Well, just the last one until season 2, because there's nothing to talk about. We've done unless we start doing the manga. But I'd rather just do the manga alongside the anime season and really compare it more so than just do it on its own. So as of right now, we're not doing any more One Punch Man, and we're also at the end of the year. I mean, we're at this is literally coming out the day that the ball drops, and we're going into 2017. That's crazy.
You know what you need to do?
What? Oh, God.
The picture needs to be Saitama punching the ball.
Okay. Okay.
No, it doesn't.
No, because he's just changing everything. What Saitama's going to be punching fireworks, and little meteors are going to be coming out. Saitama's going to be punching fireworks, and little balls are going to be coming out.
Now
you're changing it.
The best part of it is that I have nothing to do with those and don't put any work into them, so I'm just being a total asshole.
Yeah, no, what you're doing is you're either telling myself or Anthony Sinandris, another podcaster / Let's Player we've worked with in the past and currently work with. You're just telling him or me, because I've worked on some of them. I worked on our One Punch Man for season 1. I loved it. You're just like, I literally have nothing to do with any of these. Here's some ideas. Go fucking do it. How about no? How about
But man,
no?
I'm gonna be sorely disappointed with your work.
Fine then. You'll see every one of you will see the results when you see the episodes that we film next week when you come over to my house.
Okie dokie.
Okay. Anything you want to say about the OVAs before we wrap everything up?
Oh God. I guess it's just like overall the series overall has become like one of my favorites, like so very quickly too. Like
yeah,
I love a lot of
do.
different. Yeah, no, it is like it's gotten my attention, and it's gotten like to make me feel for it as a series. Like it usually takes, I don't know, I feel like it takes, not like I'm that hard to please, but I feel like it does kind of take something special to like earn that place among so many other series that I really do enjoy and like remember and be like, I really want to have a piece of that series, like I want to own that series kind of thing, you know?
Well, because here's the thing with you, and I don't mean this to offend you, I'm just being, honest here. You're a man of nostalgia. A lot, right?
Yeah.
And that isn't saying that the stuff that you like isn't good, but it's from your childhood, so you are a man of nostalgia, at least when it comes to the anime, right? So, even though you have said, like, oh, I like Attack on Titan, or, obviously you love One Punch Man, or, you recently really got into Black Lagoon. And I say recently as in the last, 2 years, which is recent for you and I. Because you consume anime and manga, but not to the same way that some of our friends do and some other people that we know do, right? And a lot of people, in the world, consume it where you'll have people sit there and be like, oh, I'm watching, there's, let's say, this, season for Crunchyroll, we're going to get, maybe 10. Probably going to be more than 10 shows, honestly, but I'll just say 10, just a nip number. Yeah, so 10 shows are coming on Crunchyroll this season. I'm going to watch 9. I just don't have time for that 10th, right?
Yeah.
And you and I are unable to, or just are not, consuming anime like that. So when you end up seeing a show like One Punch Man, and you're like, oh yeah, it's just the new, it's a new show airing this season. And then you start seeing all this fanfare and whatever, and you're not someone who really gets easily swayed. So when you're hearing everyone say no, it's so good, it's so good, it's so good, you're like, okay, I'm sure that's nice. You're the kind of person, a little bit like me in some ways, where we would see something like One Punch Man, in 2019, and be like, dude. Mind you, it came out in 2015. We'd see it in 2019 and be like, whoa, man, this show is crazy good. I mean, technically, it's what happened with you in Black Lagoon. I saw it when it had first come out dubbed, but you had seen it way late, again, over the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I mean, I saw it when it made its run on Toonami.
Exactly, and that was
how all the others that I enjoyed, enough to, start collecting it started, too.
Usually. That's usually how it is. Yes, because you did One Punch Man before its dub came out. I actually told you, let's watch the dub so we can get both interpretations, enough of both, and then we'll do the show. But and even something like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, you and I have seen, I haven't kept up with it, but you and I have seen before the Toonami dub.
True.
But definitely when part 1.
Yeah, a few of those, run into as friend recommendations, or I'm shown them, stuff like that.
Yes. Yeah, but One Punch Man is one where I know you like JoJo, just like I do, but definitely One Punch Man is one that really has hit with you and resonated with you more than a lot of current anime have. Even I would say compared to Attack on Titan from your perspective.
Well, yeah,
not Attack on Titan show, but
Yeah, no,
it's so interesting.
I'm excited to hear that they're getting a second season. If I catch it,
it's
okay,
funny.
But
it's funny though. No. Here's the thing, though. You're like, I'm excited to hear that Attack on Titan is getting a second season. And I'm like, did you know that One Punch Man is also getting a second season? And you cut me off. You're like, One Punch! That's
pretty much.
Your level of enthusiasm
that's
for both.
The difference.
That's the difference. Where I will admit, though, even though I have yet to finish Attack on Titan, I understand internet, don't yell at me. I still whenever someone mentions Attack on Titan, I'm like, yeah, I'm still really into the opening theme song
Oh, yeah.
Too
oh,
much.
no. Fuck that. Yeah, the opening is amazing.
Anyway, so we're going to wrap up here. We're going to want to say that we thank you all for listening. We're really going to assume that you're not listening to this when we air it live or when we put it. We might not even put it like at a set time at like 11:30 or whatever, because we know you guys won't be listening then, like the usual time. We might just put it up very early in the day. But we just want to say that if you did listen to this though before New Year's, Happy New Year's, right? We hope you're spending time with your families. And if it's post New Year's, well, you made it. We got through the new year. There was no nuclear fallout. We did it.
Yay.
Now we just have to keep on living and hope that 2017 does not take as many celebrities as 2016 did.
You had to end it on that. Like,
fucking goddamn it.
I mean, I loved her too.
Punch.
But Jesus Christ, why did you have to end it on that?
It's not even just Carrie Fisher. It's everyone else.
Well, true. There are plenty of others too.
You want to know how I know that we're not celebrities?
Because we're not dead?
Yes. We didn't fucking die yet.
I ruined the joke for you, didn't I?
Yeah, no, you set me up. Thank you.
Joke? Okay.
Yeah, I don't even know if joke's the right word, if not critical analysis. Maybe that's a better word.
Okay. I mean, yeah, fair enough.
Anyway, we really do want to say, though, like, we wish you guys a Happy New Year. And if you're listening to this while, like, on the day of, New Year's Eve, go out to a party. I mean, I probably won't be out to a party. I know you're not. You're going to be hanging out with Anthony Toto, one of our fellow Let's Players, and not podcasters. But, like, that's what you do every year. What? That's a party. That's like three of you that are going to be there. And I wasn't invited, so it's not a party. That's how I look at it.
Whatever.
You invite me, then it's a party.
Okay. I see how it is. Matt Marrero, the host, everybody. He's got to be there for it to be legit. Okay. Because it's not those guys without this guy. Just end the show, please.
Excuse me.
Matt.
That's why I'm the host.
God damn it.
You're not getting liquor when you come over next week. How does that feel? Oh, man. No, that's you after liquor.
One Vader.
Before liquor.
Oh, dear God.
No, before liquor. You know, this One Punch Man show, man, what a spectacle this is. Fucking after liquor. We want to thank you all for listening in, as always. Of course, as you know, we have merchandise. I'm going to start doing the spiel now, Tristan. As you know, we have merchandise over on our main website, thoseguysonradio.tumblr.com/merchandise, and our eBay channel, Those Guys Radio. Of course, you listen to our podcast through many different ways. You can follow our podcast and our Let's Plays through our social media accounts, like our Facebook, which is /ThoseGuysOnTheRadio, our Twitter, which is @ThoseGuysRadio, and our Instagram, which is /ThoseGuysOnTheRadio. You can also listen to our podcast off of our YouTube channel, Those Guys on the Radio, where we have we have many of our archived podcasts on there, and we're constantly updating it with new ones. You can also watch some of our Let's Plays that I've mentioned that Tristan and I will be filming some next week even. Also, by the way, you can find those Let's Plays on our YouTube channel, Those Guys Play, and what's very important is that each year, right, about a year, maybe a little bit more, we'll be doing, we always do Those Guys Play Season 1 or Season 2. Well, Season 3 is actually coming in January 2017, so literally just like in a week from now when this comes out. You'll actually be able to watch some of our really cool Let's Play stuff, and don't think that's all, because we've been having a really good streak of like at least around 20 or more Let's Play episodes per month of different kinds, because we always start off a game in the season format and expand elsewhere. Or we also have Matt Beats Games from his childhood, where I've actually beaten Porky Pig's Haunted Holiday and Disney's Aladdin. In live streams, I finished them in live streams before this podcast came out, and potentially, depending on what's going on with my life, there's a good chance that I beat Mega Man X before this podcast comes out. And again, you can check that out all on the YouTube channel Those Guys Play. So we also have ourselves a Patreon, which you can look up as TG Productions, and there you can help us fund what we do, our podcasts, helping us fund our Blog Talk Radio account, or helping us get new Let's Play material like a capture card for our 3DS or a Wii U with a capture card installed, just to bring you guys even more Let's Play content. And don't think that, even though donating to us is an amazing thing, don't think that you can't get anything out of it either. Depending on what tier you donate to, you can either say, hey, I want you to do this specific podcast about this specific topic, or this movie or TV show or book or whatever it might be, even a podcast on a video game. Or you can say, hey, I want you guys to Let's Play this specific video game. So we can do that as well. So basically, there's a lot that you can get out of it as well, not just giving us money. Heck, you can even get a shout out from us on the show, so on either podcast or Let's Plays. By being a sponsor, you can basically get a nice little shout out from us. So there's a lot of fun things that you can get by donating to our Patreon, which again is TG Productions. Now I want to thank you all for listening in as always, and I'm going to take off right now. So Tristan, you still there, Tristan?
One Punch!
He was so quiet. I was like, oh, God, I killed him. Is he a celebrity now? Oh, God, I've killed him. So I want to thank you all, and hope you have a happy New Year's, either with your families or with loved ones or with alcohol. Although your loved ones can actually be alcohol, and also your family can be alcohol, to be fair. But whatever you consider family and friends, I hope you're with them. Yeah. So thank you all for listening in as always, and yeah, right. And say good night, Tristan.
Good night, everyone. Happy New Year from those guys.
Or a good day. I don't know. Oh shit.